Hello, everyone. This is Live Life Well TV host Robert Landau. We are here with another absolutely astounding, enthralling, mind bending episode of a trivia show here on Live Life Well TV that we call Did You Know? It is fun. It is educational, and along with those, hopefully you will leave this episode learning some things that you didn't even know of before, because that's really good brain exercise for body, mind, and spirit. So, if you're ready, stay tuned. All right, if you're ready, so am I. So here we go with the first Did You Know? Did you know that back in the 1920s and 1930s, many movie theaters back then actually had signs instructing the ladies who would go to see movies back then to, quote, please remove your hats, unquote. And this was done to keep their rather elaborate, huge, and filling headwear from blocking anybody's view who was trying to look at the movie screen and see the movie behind them. Did you know that honey hunters in Mozambique actually use special calls to recruit the services of birds they call honey guides? I don't know how they call them, but that would be cool to see on a video, don't you think? But until then, just so you know, the birds actually lead those honey hunters to bees' nests. And in return, as a thank you, those birds get the leftover beeswax. You know, that's a pretty good deal if you think about it. And how about this, did you know? Did you know that Cleopatra, yes, Cleopatra actually had a very special, very exclusive lipstick that was made just for her? What did it consist of? Well, how about this? Two main ingredients. The first was a crushed mixture of ants. Yes, ants. And if that wasn't enough, how about this? To get the deep red color, there was a deep red mixture of carmine beetles. So you mix the crushed ants with the crushed carmine red beetles, and there you have Cleopatra's exclusive lipstick. Question: ladies out there, would you wear it if you knew that you were the only one besides Cleopatra herself who had this exclusive lipstick? Think about it. Let me know. And before we go any further, we would like to acknowledge mentalfloss.com. Next, did you know goes like this. Did you know that two grandsons of President John Tyler, who happened to have been the 10th president of the United States, who was born back in 1790, are rumored, those two grandsons, to still be alive? Did you know that foreign accent syndrome, there is something called foreign accent syndrome, is a rare side effect of brain trauma? Patients actually speak their native language, but they speak their native language with an accent, with a foreign tongue. Did you know that the ancestor of the modern chainsaw, get this, I ain't making this stuff up, folks, the ancestor of the modern chainsaw was invented to facilitate childbirth? And I'm going to say that again just because it's so absolutely unbelievable, but true. The ancestor of the modern chainsaw was invented to facilitate childbirth. And here's how that goes. Two doctors invented the chainsaw back in 1780 to make the removal of the pelvic bone easier and less time consuming during childbirth. Ouch! As if it ain't painful enough. That chainsaw was powered by a hand crank and looked like a modern day kitchen knife with little teeth on a chain that wound in an oval. Oh, wow. Next, did you know, goes like this. They keep getting better and better, don't you think? Did you know that Jerry Springer, yes, the Jerry Springer, was born in a London tube station during World War II? Can't make this stuff up, even if I tried. And with that said, here's the next one. Did you know that a Canadian police officer by the name of Ward Clapham created a program that actually gives something called positive tickets to people who happen to do good deeds? I love that. And it's much better than using a chainsaw during childbirth, don't you think? But what a wonderful thing that Canadian policeman has thought of. How about the police rewarding people for good deeds instead of trying to protect us in the best way that they can? But I guess you'd have to hire a whole separate force of policemen just to honor good deeds, because the current force of policemen happen to be so busy trying to keep things in order, but they can do it in Canada. I guess they could do it here. Something to think about, huh? Did you know that dolphin calves, dolphin baby dolphin calves, are typically born tail first rather than head first, so they don't drown during the birthing process? I don't know about you, but I love dolphins. Actually, we should do a special episode here on dolphins, because what wonderful beings they are, and capable of doing a lot more than they often get credit for. Did you know that Africa happens to be the only continent with land in all 4 hemispheres? Did you know that Maine is the U.S. state closest to Africa? I'm trying to think how that's even possible, but there you go. Yes, the title of closest U.S. state to Africa does, it's said, belong to Maine, and specifically, it's a peninsula called Coddy Head State Park in Maine. And I'm probably not pronouncing it correct, but that's spelled Quoddy. That state park's quaint little lighthouse, the Coddy Head Light it's called, is located at the easternmost point of the United States. It's also the point closest to Africa, about 3,154 miles from a place in Africa by the name of LLW. Wow. I'm learning stuff. I don't know about you, but this is really cool. Did you know, along those lines, in her will, author Dorothy Parker left her estate to the incredible Martin Luther King Jr. and the NAACP following his death? The organization still owns the rights to Dorothy Parker's works to this very day. Did you know that a solar eclipse helped end a 6-year war back in 585 BC? When the sky suddenly darkened during a battle between the Lydians and the Medes in modern Turkey, soldiers actually took that as a sign to cease fighting. Should probably use that today, huh? Did you know that the paint that coats the White House and Buckingham Palace is made by the same German paint company. Did you know that in the late 1800s, residents of Corrine, Utah, could buy divorce papers from a vending machine for a grand total of $2.50? Did you know that referees actually get Super Bowl rings too? Did you know that the great Shirley Temple reportedly hated, despised, did not love her very famous curls? She actually preferred the cropped hairstyle of her hero, Amelia Earhart. We do happen to have an episode on this channel in our America's Greatest Personality series on Shirley Temple. Go back and find that one, because wow, there was so much more to Shirley Temple than most of us know. Did you know that Japan happens to be the home of about a dozen cat islands? Yes, cat islands. These are places where cats significantly happen to outnumber people. Did you know that Alice in Wonderland was once banned in parts of China? Quote, bears, lions, and other beasts cannot use human language, unquote, said the governor of the Hunan province in 1931. Quote again, to attribute to them such a power is an insult to the human race, unquote. Did you know that sleep literally cleans your brain? During slumber, more cerebrospinal, yes, I can actually read big words from time to time, eventually, but more cerebrospinal, whatever, that fluid actually flushes through the brain to wash away harmful proteins and toxins that build up during the day. Hope you got that. I ain't reading it again. This is where you have the fun part, right? Did you know that blue whales may weigh up to twice as much as the largest dinosaur did? Did you know that wax modeling pioneer Madame Tussaud was nearly executed by guillotine during the French Revolution? Did you know that Winston Churchill's mother, I love this because I'm from New York, Winston Churchill's mother was born in Brooklyn? Did you know that North Korea's 105-story Ryugyong Hotel, nicknamed the Hotel of Doom, is the world's tallest unoccupied building? Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang, North Korea, is the tallest unoccupied building in the world. Construction on the Hotel of Doom began back in 1987 and has stopped and started several times over the 3 decades that have passed due to North Korea's constant economic woes. For now, one side of the 1,080-foot building has been outfitted with LED screens used for propaganda light shows, because that building is so tall that the population can see it, at least that side of the building, from miles and miles away. So why not show propaganda to the populace, huh? Did you know that Louis Braille was 12 years old when he began transforming a method of silent communication used by the French military into a language that allows blind people to read? When he was 12. 2 more before we close. And here is the second and last one. Did you know that in late May or early June of each and every year, the synchronous fireflies of the Great Smoky Mountains flash in sync? They flash at the same time. You gotta love those fireflies, huh? It's a light show that happens to be made up of males blinking for the females on the forest floor below. Wow! Last but certainly not least, folks, did you know that Queen Elizabeth II is a trained mechanic? Wow! So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Between this episode and the next episode of Did You Know, I'm actually going to learn how to read. That's a pretty good Did You Know, huh? So, I hope you had a good time. As you can tell, I did. Thank you so much for spending your time with us here at Live Life Well TV. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Did You Know? And any of the other episodes of other shows that are here on this channel for your viewing pleasure. This has been Robert Landau, Live Life Well TV host. God bless.